Good morning and welcome back to my studio. I'm Trish and this is our next piece. So I picked this up. It's a really sturdy little table, which makes me feel good because after I redo it and I'm going to sell it, I know I'm selling a solid piece. It's in great condition. It has one little dent right here, which I can fix very easily. And the stain on it right now is not on trend. It's a red cherry, but that's okay because we plan to take it off anyway, right? We're going to remove this, do a beautiful art piece, a wood stain art piece on it, do the edge a little darker so it'll frame the art piece on top. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to do the bottom shelf as an art piece or chalk paint it the same color as the legs. I think I might do that. So let's get started.
So unfortunately, after I removed all of the wood stain, you can see here that there was a lot of differences in the color of the wood that was used. There's that really dark piece and then a lighter piece next to it. It just, for me, would not be right to put on a wood stain design on here and have that wood show through because it would be distracting to the design. It really would take away from the art piece. So I opted for another option. I decided I'm going to use a unicorn spit gel stain and cover this completely and then do a Talavera inspired art piece on top. So let's get started. Here's what I'm using. I'm using the black wood stain by Unicorn Spit. What I like about this is you can put it on without diluting and have a solid opaque stain, or you could wipe it off and see some of that wood grain through it too. So I opted to do a solid opaque stain because the Talavera art that I'm going to do on the top needs to have a bold contrast. It needs to have something to contrast against. So here I am, I'm making sure I get the sides. I also decided to do the legs and the bottom shelf the same color. So the entire thing is this nice black. So I apologize, I lost some footage. I did not somehow save the footage from when I did the flower in the center. But there I was showing you I used India ink and to do the design and a paintbrush. And here are my measurements. With Talavera design, they use a lot of repeating designs within the art, and they are very balanced, so everything is symmetrical. So I measured out on my board to have them equally apart. And now I'm showing you here that I'm taking the ink with my paintbrush and I'm making a circle to start my design at the top of that pyramid or triangle. Then I'm putting another circle at the bottom, filling it in. Now it will take more than one coat of ink to do this design, otherwise you will see the black through it, and I want that bold white against the black because that's what I really am inspired by in the Talavera pottery. So now I just want to show you, I'm picking a point close to that bottom circle and I'm pulling up a line on either side of that top circle. This is how I'm going to make this design. And I'm just connecting it. And it looks like a very large exclamation point at this time. But then when we add in the designs along the side of that triangle, you will see the beautiful design that will be created. And we're going to create those other ones the same way as I created this one. And you can probably see, I'm not sure, you can probably see I have measured 3 spots on each side of that triangle, and that is where I will place my circles to start the side designs. And here we go. There you go. I'm pointing them out now. So let's put our circles there and make our little, they're kind of like comma marks. I don't know what you would call them. But you make a circle and then pull down from a spot below, or pull up from a spot below to that circle to create the design. So here's the 3 circles. And because this is a repeating design, I'm going to just do this one, and then I will forward through the remainder of the design along this edge of the table, and so that I can move on to the next design and show you how to do that. So now you can see I picked a spot and I'm pulling it up just the same way as I did that original large exclamation point. And you can see the black is showing through. So this ink dries extremely fast. So by the time I go around the table and do the whole table, it will be dry and I can start doing the second coat. But for the purpose of this video, I did let it dry and did a second coat for you before moving on. So now we're going to do the other side of the triangle, and we're going to be careful to not only put our circles in I have marked it so they're in the same spot as it is on the other side, but also making them in similar size and shape. So that way it appears to be symmetrical. Of course, this is being done by hand. Nothing is perfect when it's done by hand. You can use a ruler that has circles that, you know, if you want to trace circles on there. But I really like the beauty of the imperfection of hand art. So now, if you'll take a look, this is super important. That point, I'm trying to get it as close as possible to where the other point is, and not go, you know, not have it too short or too long. Oops, sorry about that. Knocked the camera. So we'll just finish up these last 2, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And if you make a mistake and you need to erase it, what you can do is once that dries, you can go back over it with some of the black stain, just carefully removing whatever mistake you made. Okay, so there you have it. and I will let this dry, put a second coat on it, so it'll be a nice bright white like that center is. So the center is done really in the same way. I used the same brush that I'm using for this. Also, I had a thinner brush that I used as well. Here I'm showing you, this is the pencil I used for these lines. It's a chalk pencil with an eraser, and any eraser will work, but the nice thing about it is that it just wipes off. The chalk just wipes off completely. So I don't have to worry about any heavy erasing from a pencil, from a graphite pencil. So now I'm speeding it up for you, so, so you don't have to sit through that again. But I want to show you the nice bright white. There are specific designs used in Talavera pottery, and so I just looked up on the internet some examples and pictures of several. Really, it took me a whole day of looking at pictures to figure out which designs I wanted to put onto my table that I felt would fit with the shape of the table. There we go. Beautiful bright white. And here it is with all of them finished. I just finished the last one. And if you can see, I've now put some chalk pencil marks over around the edge of them, and that's what I'm going to show you now. That's the second part of this design for the edge. And that, what I'm putting down is some cling wrap. I'm putting it over my design so that I don't mess it up with my hand sitting on it. It's dry, but you know, you have oils in your skin, and this is a beautiful bright white. I don't want to soil it in any way. So you can see here I'm just taking the very tip of that brush and making a thin line around the edge, a decorative line. Just giving it a little bit more detail. And this will be done with 2 coats as well. Basically the entire design, I used 2 coats of the India ink. So the way I'm doing these lines, that is exactly how I did it in the center. I measured out, you know, I used my ruler, measured out the design, used my chalk pencil, and then went over that with my India ink. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to the next one. And just keep going all the way around the table. Here you can see I'm finishing some of the second coat. The only difference on the design on the corner is it has one less exclamation point on the sides. That's what it looks like. So now I'm moving on, and I've measured out some lines to go around the center to make a rectangle. And the reason I didn't do the rectangle first was because I wanted to see what it looked like with the outer design first, and then decide, do I want to put this rectangle on here? And so I decided yes, it just didn't look complete, so I decided to go ahead. And this is common for the Talavera pottery to have some type of outline like this. So because drawing lines or painting lines is a little bit boring, I will not bore you through it. I'm going to move on and show you what it looks like. And then I'm going to start the inner part. So as this is drying, the line on the center is drying, I'm going around and just erasing some of my marks. And then here now I'm starting the second inner line of the rectangle. You notice I always have that cling wrap down on my board. Now I use cling wrap, not saran wrap. There's a difference. The cling wrap sticks better and doesn't move underneath your arm or hand. And there you go. So now we have the two border lines. I'm going to let this dry. So now we get to this is the harder part. I did not do all the lines for you on camera. I just measured out those lines with my chalk pencil and ruler, and then I went through them over them with my India ink, and now I'm dotting everywhere it crosses. So this is a chopstick, an old chopstick. It's round and it's perfect for dotting. So I'm just dipping it there into my ink. I had to move the camera, sorry. My chopstick was too long and it was hitting the camera. So I'm just dipping it in my India ink and dotting it. And just going over each place that it crosses. And that's how I'm getting that designed. So again, I painted on the lines. After that dried, I now have come back and I'm doing the dotting. So in all, this table took quite some time to make. It was a slow process of painting on all those lines. But I think it was well worth it. It's just beautiful. And now here I'm showing you, I'm going to go over it. It's dried now for a couple days, and I'm going over it with a clear satin polyurethane. And I did use this on the legs, and you can see the bottom piece, the bottom shelf is over there as well, and I'm putting it on there at the same time. And the polyurethane really made it pop. Here it is. Beautiful. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. That design, I wanted something bold with the black and the white, but also very elegant looking. And it turned out exactly as I wanted it. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you'd like to see more designs, please like and subscribe. Bye.